I don't know if I blame the media for making people dumber, or people being dumb enough to listen to the media, or maybe it's just an Ouroboros of idiocy. As remember that random lady in San Diego County that got in the feds' faces over an arrest?
You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop right there.
You need to stop kidnapping people on the street.
100%.
You need to stay
Show
back
me your
from
arrest
her.
warrant then. Show me your arrest
I
warrant.
don't need to show you.
Yeah,
anything.
because you're a
You're
liar.
not an interested party. You have no right to see that.
Car?
You're being obnoxious and a lady.
Not being obstructive. You're being obnoxious.
Well, the local NBC affiliate found her and gave her some airtime.
I walked up to the agents and asked what they were doing, if they were just arresting workers. I was told that other people's criminal history is not my business. When masked, armed, unidentified gunmen are standing in the parking lot of our local shopping centers, this is not how we lawfully and ethically enforce our laws.
I mean, masked I understand, but unidentified? As that's clearly DHS alongside DEA, with a bit of the enforcement and removal operations and Border Patrol. So if anything, the only person unidentified in that arrest are the men the feds are detaining. But she's been so well programmed to automatically assume all cops are bad, so in turn, detainees are good, with zero evidence of this. And then claims they're masked gunmen, which should get some major pushback from the news outlet, but we'll get more into that in a minute. But this local NBC affiliate just gave them an entire segment about local residents confronting ICE agents. Now that lady stated we have laws in our country, despite not knowing who is entitled to see the warrant, but then NBC directly quoted her, classifying the feds as masked, armed, unidentified gunmen, and that she won't be silenced and we all need to continue to speak up. I could find zero pushback on her framing of masked, armed gunmen, as that's my major issue with how mainstream media feeds this to their audience. They easily could have included in their reporting, local and federal law enforcement have been using masks for decades. Police officers can't really be classified as armed gunmen, or at the very least, stop letting them use the word kidnapping to classify a legal arrest. But no. I believe the mainstream media is purposely propping up this anonymous lady as almost an example of what a brave citizen does when evil feds come kidnap your neighbors. As remember, the ICE riots in California started when San Diego residents attacked the feds.
People! Back here! This is it right here! Yeah!
What's wrong with you?
Go!
The media framed these activists as heroes, then the protests spread up to Los Angeles, where they essentially destroyed the city for days. Now, you can't entirely blame the media for fanning the flames, but I imagine a large portion of those activists were activated into the streets specifically from the rhetoric the news media repeated. As an angry lady yelling at ICE is one thing, but according to the New York Post, anti-ICE activists actually helped an illegal escape, where reportedly, a masked man helped them escape custody while the guards weren't looking, loaded the detainee into a waiting van assisted by others who is believed to have a rap sheet. That's the common theme I'm seeing with all these activists automatically yelling at the feds. They don't know much about the organization or laws they're enforcing, but they know even less about the person being arrested. Did they traffic substances or possibly people? Did they have criminal records of harming their spouses? Or is everybody being arrested just an innocent Maryland man? As it's bad enough when ignorant activists are doing this, but now according to the Los Angeles Times, local grand juries are refusing to indict people for attacking law enforcement officers. And even worse, the Berkeley Scanner reports a judge just released an illegal, where this judge was appointed by none other than Governor Gavin Newsom, who just released this individual from custody, even though he has a lengthy rap sheet including attempted murder, attempted carjacking with a toddler in the backseat, and another on a woman in her 60s. But since he's lived in the US since age 6, apparently he shouldn't be deported. And when the local news interviewed him, people were taking pictures as if he's some celebrity. As I imagine if these people knew why the Trump administration wanted him gone, they would equally agree he isn't someone that deserves to stay. But since the mainstream media outlets feature random ladies shouting at ICE, framing them as masked gunmen kidnapping innocent workers, of course they're gonna see that dude that spent more than a decade in prison as someone they should get a selfie with. But the good/terrible thing is this idiocy isn't exclusive to America, as in Ireland, their police were patrolling the streets when this guy sneaks up and starts randomly stabbing them. Their Gardaí significantly struggled to detain them as they're unarmed, but once they were able to get the attacker on the ground, some random lady runs up on them and actually tries to stop the arrest. And the thing you're all wondering, the answer is yes. As a local Irish journal reported on this insane attack, stating the copper went to the local hospital, luckily for non-life-threatening injuries, as the attacker is being charged for non-fatal offenses and offensive weapons. Those charges seem soft, but apparently according to Irish law, that guy is realistically facing over a decade of incarceration. It's just insane to think that even in Ireland, a guy can go on a stabbing spree on their Gardaí, but some lady will take it upon herself to stop the arrest, ironically putting her own life in incredible danger, all because something programmed her to think all cops are bad. As oddly, I have personal experience with this exact scenario that I've repeated too many times on live streams. But essentially, I was working security in Los Angeles. Me and 2 Hispanic co-workers were kicking some insane guy off the property when he suddenly took out a knife and started slashing. My 2 employees stepped up in saving me, and we were actually able to safely detain him. Now this incident drew a huge crowd since obviously we struggled to detain him to the ground, but some random lady runs up with her camera shouting, "These guys just beat up that black guy." Now there were plenty of witnesses that immediately shut her up, but it's insane how people that know nothing about what's happening will try to twist it into a social media moment where they're the ones saving someone from injustice, as idiots like this wouldn't have any incentive to act this way unless mainstream media outlets prop them up on TV to tell their story as if their ignorance is somehow heroic. The scary part is how quickly does shrieking "show me the warrant" turn into "I'm gonna step in between you and the guy stabbing people." So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.